Yeah, because I was part of two groups, so like my pretty much my top. Wait, how is that what API was that? Or should we just like resign that?
Okay, I'm still waiting for the list of finalists, and I feel really bad having a wonderful room of such talented guys in front of me. So I'm going to start asking random questions. Who worked on a hardware project this weekend? Yeah? What about, well, I guess, does that mean the other half worked on software? I need a little louder woo than that. Like, we're getting there a little better and a little better. So an interesting thing that I hear a lot of comments about when I go out into the world is that the hackers work on Macs. How many people have Macs in this room? There are a lot more Mac users than hands. What about non-Mac users? Mac users, are you going to take that? Well, I'm a Mac user and I like to, so I will be creative. What about that Red Bull with paper wings contest? Who took part in that last night? Yeah? Does anyone know who won? I know there were 2 winners out of the 3. Yes, you won. I know you were flying things ridiculously far before I left. And I don't know what's you? Awesome. So, I was on the truck. So, what was your favorite midnight snack? Was it the pizza, the Nutella pizza we had yesterday, or the cupcakes? Okay, I'm gonna say who preferred the Nutella? Who was awake? Who was awake when we did the Nutella pizza? So does that mean the rest of you like the cupcakes? Okay, let's try that again. Nutella pizza? Cupcakes. Nutella pizza? Pineapples. I got 2 guys in the back who like pineapples. Okay, what else did we have? Ooh, what was your favorite meal? Shawarma or burritos? Shawarma? Burritos. Nando's, that chicken we had last night. Yeah? We thought you might like that one. And what about the only true Canadian food you could ever have? Poutine for lunch yesterday. Was that because you didn't like the poutine or because the line was a little long? Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's how you respond. Yeah, it's good. You feel like yes. That's how you respond. It's okay. I stop doing that's like 3 days ago. He was lying.
Okay, I'm going to get things started a little bit.
I did, but I think it's still. Well, I think that was like exactly.
Okay, we have the finalists, so we will be starting in a couple of minutes. If you are, I know, 1 minute.
I'm just gonna try to see if I can change.
Just 14.
Now we have fun.
Water, water, water!
Lou, Lou, Lou!
Water, water, water!
Lou, Lou, Lou!
I say water! You say Lou! Water!
Lou!
Water!
Lou!
Water, water, water!
Lou, Lou, Lou!
You guys bring out a good point. So who else do we have out here? I think someone messaged me saying I forgot a couple of universities last time. So Western, Queens. Anyone else from the GTA? Are any U of T students still in here? Now you can't blame me because I'm not from Canada, but I'm gonna go with I don't remember all the schools because I'm not from here. I didn't grow up with them. McMaster?
Yay!
Yeah! That's the team spirit right there.
McGill!
Did I not? Yeah, McGill. And Montreal. Yeah, the whole Montreal crew. And what? Western London? Oh yes! Where are my high school students? I know there's at least 8 of you. Does this mean when you guys get to university you're going to throw your own hackathons, or are you throwing them in high school already? Both? Are we allowed to come to your hackathons? So we're going to get things started, finally, with no more further delays, hopefully. I've been told to pause, so I will pause.
Because I need to look at what it's
Okay. We made it! With absolutely zero delays, U of T Hacks is completely 100% here, and we're finally at our closing ceremony. Who has been awake for like 40 hours at this point? Because I know I have. Yeah? Yeah? For all the guys who are still awake, can I get a big woo so I know you still have energy to keep going for another 10 hours? Woo! That's what I like to hear. Awesome. So, speaking of hours, where has the time gone? How many of you know what happened in the last 36 hours? Like fully understand and remember everything that happened?
what's happening right now.
I think I'm trying to give a closing ceremony. We'll see what happens, right? UT Hacks team absolutely had a blast the last few days, what we do remember. The rest of it was a blur of us helping, set up tables, having Nerf gun battles. I don't know if you heard about that this morning, as well as a bunch of other stuff. And I hope you guys had a really great time and will remember the most of it as well. So let's not forget that our theme is social benefit, and keep that in mind as we're doing all of our wonderful work here, and keep that wonderful trend going on at other hackathons as well. I want to get us started. Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm going to give a quick overview of the next hour or so. We're going to do the final presentations. This is the 10 teams that have been selected. I hope you're in this room or in 1170, and if you're not, I'm very sorry. That is all I can say at this point. So you guys have all done an amazing job. If you submitted something, you are a rock star. We had 111 submissions, at least that's when I checked it last, which is incredible considering we had 500 people at this hackathon. So give yourselves a clap on the back. Clap your hands for talent. Now, can we all give a huge round of applause to our judges? That's Pearl Chan. In case you haven't noticed, they're sitting in the front row, and they've got stern faces on. They've got their game faces on to be impressed. So, we're going to call it the first name. Okay, is Pulse in the house? Yeah? You guys made it to the final round. Yeah. So I'm going to ask if you guys can start setting up, and then we'll announce the rest of the finalists as soon as they're done, just so we can get things moving. Does that sound good? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Oh, Pebble will get right back to you, I promise. So while you guys set up, can we please invite Pebble up to stage so that they can announce the Pebble winner, the Best Use of Pebble Award? Yeah?
Hey guys, okay, so very quickly, so Pebble is generally incredibly impressed by all of the awesome Pebble apps and non-Pebble apps that we got to see today, and we got some really awesome questions from a group, some of which had never written a line of C code before. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you for the UT guys for organizing this. So I'll give like 5 honorable mentions, but there were really some good ones. So Run With Me and Skip for Pebble, Speed Run, and Next Step. I really love your apps, but one app actually did kind of emerge as the winner, and it's Gervais by Edwin and his team. So I don't know if you guys are
Guys, do you want to come up? Yeah, you can come up. Can we get another round of applause? Jason? Are you guys ready? Okay. Yeah, so
Hi, I'm Nick. This is Jacob, Michael, and John. We're all students here at U of T. And today and today we want to show you Pulse. Pulse is a haptic feedback metronome for smartwatches that helps synchronize bands or the hearing impaired for things like athleticism and rowing and all kinds of other activities. So, if Michael is going to tell us a little bit about the story about why we came to this idea.
Okay, well, first of all, during the demo, you're going to have to keep your eyes peeled because we don't have a camera or any kind of projector to show you. But what we've created is a smartwatch application. So the stories were all in a band. John is our drummer. And if you've ever jammed with a band, you'll know that keeping it time while practicing is a really important part of it. And often bands will do that with metronomes. But it's really clunky. You have to use headphones, especially if you're playing guitar or something and you have like some kind of wire, things get complicated. And that's why, as musicians, we thought of this idea to develop a metronome that works on your smartwatch and it vibrates instead of making sounds. So Jacob's going to show you how his works.
Yeah, I guess you guys can't really see, but we have this little touch interface. We set the.
do you guys know?
Yeah. So, let me see.
So, for those who can't hear, we have a tap interface. So you can start tapping on your wrist, and the drummer will then set the time signature. And that's then pushed out to the other members of the band, and their watches will all start vibrating in sync with the drummers.
The way we synchronize the watches is that we have one watch as the host, and that watch then sends out a signal to the phone it's attached to that includes the BPM of the tapped tempo that it did, and its start time, which we just measure the epoch time. And then from that, the phones send that info to all the other phones, which then send it back to all the watches. And we want the watch to start vibrating at a time that is a multiple of the seconds. Okay. But basically we calculate like the different intervals and the start and end points, and then we wait for one of those intervals to start based on the BPM and the start time, and then we start that watch there. So it's synchronous. It's fairly accurate, but we also support calibration if there's a bit of off, so that you can synchronize it for the rest of your memory.
So the point is we came up with a creative way to make sure that everybody's watches are like as in sync as possible, because keeping time together as a band is really important. So we're going to show you how that works. So Jacob is going to launch his application, and he's going to start tapping away the rhythm. 1 second.
And Michael, would be the drummer in the band, and Michael is signed up to my group. So when I tap my tempo, it'll get synced with this.
So here's my watch.
So you again,
So if the demo gods work. So I just got a notification. My watch just started vibrating, and hopefully we're in beat. Here's mine.
I mean, you guys can synchronize them together. Okay.
And so the watches right now are completely in sync. So if Jacob and I want to, are we doing?
Yeah. It works.
And one important part is because those watches are talking to our smartphones right now, some of the other things you can be doing, if you imagine a band environment, is the drummer starts tapping away the rhythm, right away the band is jamming, but the watches are talking to the phone, so we can launch things like a recording application. So we could actually start recording the practice that we're doing, and when you stop the metronome, at the end we can show you a song that we're recording.
One other thing, while we were doing this, we were really thinking about the social benefit that this could have and the other applications that it could have. And the thing that immediately came to mind is that a lot of the things which we do as a society, which bring us together, a lot of events like sporting events and even marching or just lots of things, and music in particular, all requires one consistent rhythm, like a beat that you can feel. And if you are hearing impaired, that's going to be like a significant loss to not be able to have that. So we were thinking that it would be like, it's going to be very beneficial to give that pulse, to give that world pulse back to somebody who perhaps like lost it at some point.
Some of the people who we're talking to are people in gymnastics and figure ice skating who express interest in doing stuff like this. For example, if you can imagine a row of ice skaters and keeping in time together while practicing is really, really important.
So I think that's everything for us. Yeah.
Thank you guys very much.
Thanks, Daphne.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we're not done.
I guess I love the idea. My first question is, did you get a chance to try it with actual instruments as a band? Does it feel if the haptic feedback is strong enough to actually guide you?
So it depends on the watch. The watch Jacob is wearing right now has a
lot stronger.
much better vibration. This one, it turns out if you wear it like this,
Yeah.
it works because it vibrates the bone. So a drummer probably would want to find some kind of comfortable position for the watch. Again, it depends. It's probably, in the future, there's going to be a lot more watches, a lot of like waterproof watches. So you could use it at a boat when you're rowing, swimming. As of now, yes, it's useful. It's useful.
We didn't bring a drum kit to the hackathon, but we did play a mean beatbox. So
We like sang and like.
That's another question.
as opposed to just having it vibrate on the phone.
Not on the phone, but like, do you imagine using the same technology that maybe incorporated into more hands-free?
Yeah. There certainly definitely are a bunch of other applications for the same technology from other devices. We went for the watch form factor just because it's like kind of centered right on your like a pretty sensitive part of the body, and we had access to it.
Also, interacting with the shoes would be really difficult.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah,
So
that's
we're coming out, like, we're excited about them. We want to develop for like come up with interesting ways of integrating our lives.
Just a question on percentage of videos that you found learning about
We started off on Friday thinking about what's the best way to do it, what are the best devices, so that we could.
the person we talked to is our friend.
Great.
Great. Thank you.
So these are all hardware. Oh no, sorry, that one is, yeah, these are all in hardware. So I'm just, can we give them all a round of applause? I completely surprised over that. And to avoid surprising any other teams, can I please call out all the finalists? Please don't clap until I say the final name. In the hardware categories, we have Onboard Baby, Toast Me On, Brainwatch, 1 Million Volts, Speedrun, Team Coco, Note Nodes, Tweet My Tesla, and Easy Peasy. That is a lot of guys. Can you guys make sure you're in the front and let's clap for them. Also, if any of your teams are in the next room or BA 1170, can you head on over to this room so that you can come and present. While we wait, can I get Nimi to come and announce the Best Use of Nimi Award? And on deck, can I get Onboard Baby to start setting up, please? Is Onboard Baby in here? Yeah? Okay, please come and set up. Theirs is going to take a while to set up, so can I get Toast Me On? Can you guys set up quickly? Where are you guys? Is Toast Me On in the house? Okay. Brainwatch, are you guys in the house? Brainwatch left? What about 1 million volts? You guys are here? Okay, can you guys start setting up, please? Okay. Yeah. There's power here if you need it.
This is for the category best use of NIMI device. Can I get NIMI communicator team and NIMI in team here? We got 2 winners here. It was really tough to judge, and I think everybody put a real lot of effort into it. So I'm going to give NIMI badges away to both teams. Richard, you did well. If you want to take a minute and just explain your use case.
So, hey guys, my name's Richard, and NIMI Communicator is sort of my side project in addition to the main one that I did with my team. I realized that a lot of people were looking at NIMI as sort of a security authentication, and certainly that's what it's designed for. But I imagine something as I guess ubiquitous as security deserves certainly a second use. So what I was imagining was something like, let's say you're in a lecture, okay? Your phone is on full blast, and a lot of people like to record lectures, and they might not be able to go to their phones and turn it off in time, right? So what if there was a more discreet way to do that? What if there was a more remote way to do that? And so what I decided to do was use the NIMI and find a way for the NIMI to talk to my phone and use certain patterns of dots and dashes to control my phone. So that's my idea.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you.
And these guys had a great idea as well, basically.
So congrats guys, and thanks for supporting me.
Well, basically, I'll just describe their ideas. We're running low on time. They had this idea of movie theater terminals. So they're using NIMI to authenticate you at the terminal. You can purchase tickets at home using their app. And when you go to the terminal at the movie theater, you can use NIMI to authenticate you, and it pulls out all the information automatically. I just thought that was a great use case, and these guys built it on Windows platform. So kudos, guys. Thanks.
Are you guys ready? Okay, awesome. Do you need this? So we can put it on mic.
How's our projection, guys? Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, cool. Do you want to? Nick, why was the robot angry?
It's me.
It's because someone kept pushing its buttons. How you guys doing? You guys have a good time at UFTX week? Really? That was like a pretty low. I guess you guys are pretty low energy. Let's try that again. How was UFTX weekend, guys? My name is Adam, and this is Nick. We formed a team called 1 Million Volts, and we created this robot purely for home security and home alarm systems. Ideally, The social benefit of this was to keep people's homes safe and try to bring the attention of people from outside the house to inside the house, no matter where they were in the world. Do you want to talk a little bit about the motors?
Sure.
So
basically, this robot is controlled by Intel Edison. Actually, it's controlled by two Intel Edisons. The bottom one controls all the motors. There are two separate motors, which we can control individually. And we can go straight, backwards, rotate.
So we obviously have some like dynamic issues. Did you push more than one button?
It's actually really
Okay, cool. That's fair, right? Okay, so yeah, we have, as we said, we have two Edisons. We have two Edisons, and one, as Nick said, the bottom one controls the motor control, and the top one controls sensor controls. Now we have a variety of sensors on this that picks up different types of disturbances that may occur in a house. For example, if a fire were to start in a house, that would be really, really, really bad, and you would probably want to know about that like way ahead of time if any kind of disturbance like that were to happen. In future designs, we're planning to integrate some audio control to pick up like glass shattering or like big thumps of sound. Perhaps that could be like an intruder entering your house.
Actually, this robot streams live video. We can see it on this tablet thingy. It also, you can connect to it by Wi-Fi and control it from a remote location. That's what I'm doing right now.
So it runs a web host server on the bottom Edison, which also acts as the motor control server. And it provides us the access to access it on a laptop, on a phone, on any kind of mobile device platform that you guys can think of. So here's a quick demo. We've integrated the Edison with Twilio API, and it's like, so we've got some really cool stuff. I've got, I don't have my lighter. I got my shot. So I have this lighter here. I want to create a slight flame on this thing as if, like, to emulate some kind of, like a fire in a house. A slight flame, yeah.
Flamethrower. So, yeah.
Why do you have a BlackBerry?
Okay, well, Ricky, what did the message say?
It says, bro, there's fire in your house.
Bro, there's a fire in your house!
Can a BlackBerry do that?
Pardon?
Can a BlackBerry do that?
Can a BlackBerry get the message?
Yes.
Of course the BlackBerry can get the message. Thanks to Twilio API.
So, as soon as something goes wrong, it instantly notifies you. You have an access to get a live feed from the camera. You can actually control it, go to any room and check what's actually happening in your house. Like, I can go here to check what's happening there. That's fine. I go back.
It's like price of friction issues right now.
Yeah, probably some friction issues with the table because no one feels around perfect. But
Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, we hacked this together. So let's talk about how we hacked this together. We spent the first 2 days trying to figure out how the Edison works and coming across a lot of roadblocks. And finally, in like the last 7 trying hours, like Nick and I really pushed together and like this beauty came about. 1 million volts. Thanks. Oh yeah, for sure. Question. Absolutely. Sorry. Absolutely. So kind.
So there are multiple things we can think about, right? First of all, it could be checking the house once per hour, for example. If everything is all right, it returns some basic charges. If not, it notifies you. Or, for example, we can integrate some components of this robot into already existing robots like vacuum cleaner robots, yeah, Roomba, which already does everything, like traverses the house, and we can put in a few sensors just to figure out if something goes wrong, and make some connectivity with other devices, like house security alarms and yeah.
Thank you.
So what I meant, we don't need a separate device for home security. We can integrate with other already existing projects.
Are there any other questions?
It's very low, the device, like even if you put it on a robot. Have you thought about how you'd be able to capture things in the house that are a little bit higher than a
Right.
smart?
Okay, so one of the implementation designs that we had done for this robot was that the camera's fixed, but we also looked into the design of like having the camera sit on top of a servo, on top of two actuating servos, so you have an x-axis, so you have an x-axis motion as well as a y-axis motion. And because your robot has horizontal motion, it gives you basically 3 degrees of freedom, and you can basically view 360 degrees around, or 360 by 360 around, basically a full sphere. Yep.
When can I buy the taser?
You wouldn't be able to buy a taser option with this because tasers are illegal in Canada. Yes, sir. Now, if you were to put sensors around the house, that is a possibility. It's definitely feasible. However, this means you need to be routing wires to each room. This also means that you're going to be needing to connect a variety of different sensors into each different room. Now, it could be cost effective in certain senses, but because you have the flexibility of being able to move this thing around, and because there are existing options for robotics platforms that you can move on, like for example Roomba, it makes sense. It's a very cheap and cost effective situation to be able to put all the sensors on one machine that would traverse the house in an automated
It will
way.
be expensive to install cameras in each and every room, but with this thing, you have a remote control, you can go anywhere and check what's happening there in real time.
So have you thought about, like just building on that, have you thought about integrating with existing sensor platforms that are in different rooms and just have the robot validate that sensor?
That's also a possibility. When you say, I just want to clarify, when you say validate, do you mean validate based on the sensors that are on this robot?
Well, I think building on Raul's point, your robot can only be in one room at a specific time. But there could be a fire on my upstairs, or there could be a fire on my bedroom or in my kitchen.
Right.
So that robot wouldn't be able to tell me that there was a fire, that it could validate that.
Yes, that's what we meant by integrating with other security solutions. So for example, if there's an alarm somewhere in the building, we can send it there, and it's going to check and make some footage or build something.
And what platforms would you be looking at for that?
We could be looking at a variety of platforms. For example, the Roomba has like an API that we can work off of. I'm sure Alarm Force would be open to integrating something similar like this as well. But the possibilities are endless, really.
Thank you guys, that is amazing.
Thanks, Ashton. So let's cheers for Ashton.
Thank you guys. Okay, Onboard Baby, are you here yet?
Yep.
Yes, also are you guys ready to go? Ish? Okay, you have a couple more seconds to get ready while Twilio can come up and announce their winner. Guys, Twilio had over 30 submissions to go. Can we give a round of applause for judging all of you guys?
What's up, UAT hacks? Who's awake still? A few people. So my favorite part of my job is getting to come and spend the weekend with all of you hackers. It's truly inspiring to see what everyone does. You know, people who have never built a Flask app before have launched something by the end of the weekend. It's amazing. My least favorite part is picking a winner because you're all beautiful snowflakes to me. And I say that seriously because like I've changed my mind like 20 times like since I've sat down. It's like I keep going through the list. So it was really tough. But the winner of the Twilio prize, which is 2 Teslas with camera modules, is on text.
I'm actually going to ask Jin if he can come up because he has a flight to catch and weather and yeah. So Jin, can you please come up and announce who's going to walk away with a brand new Xbox One?
First of all, thank you to the organizers. I know they put a lot of work on this. We didn't sleep the whole weekend. Well, I was impressed by many of your projects, but I had to pick one. So The winner is Project Scarlet. Are you guys in the room? Scarlet?
I created my,
They just left?
yeah, they had a lesson, so they
Well, anyway, so what they did was a personal assistant project, similar to like Cortana or Google Now or Siri, and they had a working prototype, and that probably was pretty good.
Hello. Marco Polo.
Cool. Hey guys, it's been a fun weekend. Tired and took my thing apart. I didn't really think I was have to do this again, but cool. So my project, it's not quite set up. It's a desktop computer, if you haven't noticed, but I'll run through the demo really quickly, tell you what it's about. My project's called Onboard Baby. It is basically a smart toddler child car for infants and toddlers. The main focus driving behind creating this particular device here was that the statistic of 29% of infant mortality in vehicles was due to child being left alone in the car and dying of heat stroke. So I decided to tackle that with my hardware hack using the Intel Edison. I hadn't used it before, I hadn't used the Galileo, just jumped in, went for it. It was really a fun weekend, got a lot of fun out of it. So I approached this problem from two ways. So there's the device looks at it from that angle. One is with a heat sensor built into the child's seat. This is important for mitigating the damage of the symptoms of rising up heat stroke. So if you're still in the car, let's say you're like me, you have an old car, like I have an 02 Jetta, AC is not very good, you're driving down the road, the vent's spraying at you, you feel okay. But in the back seat, it's like really hot. And children have a higher metabolism for their heat gain, so they can't thermoregulate the same way we can. So they will increase their heat 3 to 5 times faster than you would. So you won't even notice the difference, like you'll feel it. So what happens is the sensor, this is set for the demo to go off pretty easily on the heat sensor, will then trigger the board. We call it Bluetooth from the Edison, which is an awesome little chipset, which will either, if you're like me, trigger your phone to let you know that you should like roll down the windows, put the vents up in the AC, get it cooled down back there. Or if you have a fancier car with Bluetooth enabled, the car can tell you to do all those fancy things. The next step that this device does to help mitigate this is that of that 29% of infant fatalities, 30% of that is due to parents leaving their children in the car. Now, it's not their fault, it's human nature, things happen. You get home from work, you get groceries with your kid, you go inside, you put the milk away, the phone rings, you pick up the phone, you forget, kids in the car. It happens. One child every 9 days dies being left in a car alone. Now, obviously, that's mostly the summer, that's an averagely numbered out, but it's something that I think I could address with just something really low tech, like pressure sensors in the seat. So when the child's not in the seat, this is the reverse of the demo, because I don't want to hold this all day. When the child's not in the seat, the system locks out. So it's not pinging your phone, it's not telling you to be worried about your kid when your kid's not with you. If your kid's with your spouse at home, you're driving away, you don't have to worry about it. When the kid is in the chair, it's on. It's taking measurements of the temperature sensor, and it's doing the pressure sensor. So now the device, the Edison, is paired with your Bluetooth devices. And one of the cool things I learned while looking through the Bluetooth API the other night, I found is that you can ping paired devices to determine the distance you are from the other paired device. So as I walk away, the Edison knows that my phone's getting further away. So let's say I start bringing my hockey bag into the house, my phone goes off and says, hey, kid's in the car. It's like, oh, all right. So I come back, I take the kid, leave the bag, come back to the bag later. So the idea here is that by putting the child first, by reminding people that bring the kid in first, come back for those second things later, we can minimize infant mortality and that 30% of that 29%, where I think this is the big area that we can kind of hit. And that's kind of what I made. I didn't get it turned on. My computer's not even on. It's the
with pets. Oh, that's very interesting. You could theoretically build it to like be a cat bed, build a where they go with cat carriers. You could probably put some pressure sensors in there and heat sensor in there. You can monitor your pet, you have the back seat strapped in or grabbing in front. I think it would be adaptable.
What were some of the challenges you ran up against in creating the system, especially on ensuring the accuracy of the sensors to provide meaningful results on the smartphone?
Sure. So I think some of the biggest challenges was the learning curve. I had not worked with these boards or chipsets before. So every new sensor was a new understanding of how the resistance was calculated, determine the temperature from the temperature sensor, learning the Bluetooth APIs. Even when I get frustrated with the board, I flashed to try to get Bluetooth working, it wasn't working natively, I tried some other stuff. I get frustrated, I Google things, find out new things I didn't know, and get back to it. I mean, that was a struggle, but I think that's something that every hackathon has. I think everyone here at some point this weekend was like, oh my god, why is this working? But yeah, I think it paid off. It was a lot of fun, and just getting it working at the end was like amazing. Sure. All right. So first, I think my target audience is definitely new parents, because there's always that fear, like, how are you doing enough? Is there anything else you can do? And I do think that this little 30% of the 29 is something a parent can actively do. It's that unconscious thing. It's not your fault, but it's human nature that you can improve on. Part of the statistics of those death statistics is 17% of them is children who are just playing. They're playing. They lock themselves in the car. They're out in the yard. Parents don't know. Parents can't do anything about that. And you're never going to be able to watch them 24/7. So I think being able to bridge this into these new parents, saying, hey, this is a zone you can do something about. This is something you can increase your child's safety with, devastates families when he was a child. It's not, marriages can end over things like this. So it's a big, child death is obviously a big deal. For price point, I hadn't really thought about it. Came up with the idea Friday. Hacked it together. It was, a hack project. I kept adding features as I kind of Googled things that people wanted in these kind of things. What would be useful, what wouldn't be useful. The first version had all these LEDs blinking for warning lights. Like, danger, Will Robinson, danger! And like, it's overheating, and that obviously wasn't necessary. So they're not here. But I don't know. I mean, this Edison is really overpowered. I think this kind of device. This dual core processor, the RAM on this thing, you could probably do this with a lesser board, I'd imagine. I don't think I could have done it in a weekend without this board. The XDA was just allowed me to use my native, I'm a software guy, right? So I was able to develop in my own native languages for the hardware, and that's what made it possible, really.
Would you, if you were to consumerize this, would you go down the route of creating a smart ABC yourself, or would you go down, try to partner with existing smart like car seats and work with them on upgrading it to have these sensors?
Awesome question. Maybe my entrepreneur spirit might make me try to do it by myself first, especially since I have the app background, so my app will be right there sync with phones from day one. My lack of any marketing or business experience would probably partner with somebody, to be honest.
And the last one is like car seats have a lot of regulatory governance around it because they have to work. Parents need to rely on it. I can see as parents use your system, they'll become more reliant on technology, meaning that they don't have to worry about leaving their child in because someone else is watching them. What safety net have you created with your system, or have you thought about your system to make sure that if it fails, the parent knows?
Right. So since I haven't gotten that far to actual user testing to figure out that kind of thing, I haven't gone too far. I mean, obviously the app, if it's not synced, it should warn the parent. I think that's an easy thing. You're not paired, you're not protected, right? Compliance with technology, always an issue with everything we do, I think. There was one thing you brought up. What was that very first question you said? Sorry. It was really a really good question. I forgot it.
About the safety?
Oh, yes, the regulatories, right. So, again, it's only been a weekend for me in this field. But my research in the States, apparently because these statistics are so high, the government has tried to set companies, that they want these kind of devices and things to help solve the problem. If they didn't know what they wanted industry to do it. And that kind of changed how the devices are regulated and scrutiny under it in the States, at least. I don't know about Canada. So some of the devices that have come up are wristbands for kids. so that they pair with the parents' phones in the cars and they know where the kids are. You know, I didn't know they existed before. I lucked out because like a seat's always in the car. You know, you get the kid out, you're in the back. You don't get the bracelet on. The spouse has the bracelet, you don't have it. You know, but I think because of the demand, some of those regulations are making it easier to the marketplace. Thank you.
Hey, is there Ryan Holmes in the house? If you are the lucky winner of your own wallet. Please see one of our executives soon. Woo, you won! Okay, that was an amazing hack. Okay. So we're going to go on. Do you guys want to come up? And while you're setting yourselves up here, can we please get you to come and announce your winner? Woo!
Hey everyone, this has been an amazing experience. This is the biggest hackathon that we've been to, and we were so glad that all of our devices were signed out. You guys did an amazing job. We had really interesting apps from like non-wearable to wearable. And so as with most other sponsors, it was a really difficult decision to make on who would win. But there is only one winner, and it was Express Me You. So what they did was a sign language app. So you would gesture control and display what you want to say on your clothing for people who don't understand sign language. So we thought that was a really interesting application of our technology. So is Newton or Alex in this room? Yes, come down. So you guys get an Amazon gift card. So we're going to email that to you guys once we get your information from, I believe, you guys. That would be awesome. And then we'll do that. Great. Awesome. Great. So we're going
No, I think it's fine. Hi guys. So our company, we call ourselves Brainwatch. So basically what we're using is, we're using a Pebble and we're using the Muse, and we're basically monitoring the EEG values, so the EEG activity in the brain. So the Muse measures it from 4 different places, and basically the social benefit factor of this is going to be targeting towards parents with children with epilepsy. So if usually seizures come on more so during the nighttime, right? So if you're a parent, a mom or a dad whose child has epilepsy, basically the Muse, while your child is sleeping, they'll have the Muse on, he or she will have the Muse on, and it'll be sending real-time data to your Pebble Watch of your child's condition. So if there's abnormal activities in their brain pattern, then it'll signal it to the watch, right? And the watch will vibrate once or vibrate twice, and it will let you know if your child is in danger or if your child's status is normal. So if you get one vibrate, then it says, okay, there is abnormalities in this brain function, but it's not too much. But if there's a very long vibrate, then that means, okay, quick, get up and check on your child. It's urgent. So what we've also done is we've used Twilio and my friend can hear.
Okay, so basically, using Twilio, the cloud also sends a text message to the phone. So if in case that the watch isn't on or you're not able to check the watch, it also the phone also receives a text message saying that you need to check on your child in case of an emergency. And also that the phone's actually more quickly updated than the actual watch. And if you need more data, then that's it.
So basically what our app does is, because it's Bluetooth and maybe the child can be out of range from the Bluetooth signal, we've allowed it to use the cloud. So basically what happens is the Muse will upload its values directly to its values of the brain activity to the cloud, and then from the cloud we fetch it to our Pebble, and that's what displays the data on the Pebble. So I can't show you here, but if you go through it and press it, it'll say patient, status, and if something's wrong right now, its status is status is normal. But if you start looking around, jumping around and stuff, and
So basically what we've done is it's such a threshold, so if it's over a certain limit but not too far over the normal limit, it just says the patient or child is in danger. However, if it's like way over the limit, it says you need to go to the hospital right now, it's an emergency. And the phone displays the same identical message.
How did you guys determine the thresholds? Where did you get that?
we looked at the values.
Yeah, so I did a lot of research online. So this, I used a couple of sites and then I used the average that they gave me to determine the thresholds.
So basically, we found the threshold value, and that's what we're comparing the value to. It's also used for elderly folk as well. So elderly folk, if your mom or dad is, you have to monitor your mom or dad at night just to make sure it's can be used for that. There's long-term uses for this too. So people that have epilepsy or some type of something wrong, right? Alzheimer's. Basically, to get cleared to get your driver's license again, you need to show that you had regular brain pattern for a sufficient amount of time, so over like 4 months. So basically, what you can do is you can put on this news for every night. So basically, it will record your data and show the data for the next 6 months, so you can project straight towards your doctor, and your doctor can write, oh, he's been cleared, his brain activity is with normal, he can get his license again.
Is your app taking account if the muse is off the head during movement?
No, not yet.
But generally, if the view is taken off, then you can generally see the difference in data. I mean, it just doesn't measure as well, right? Obviously, so then you can just tell.
Would that trigger the parent that's false alarm?
So far from what we've seen, it doesn't.
Okay.
Well, we haven't set the conditions for it to actually trigger if we reach those values that we will reach when it's off. So if we were to add that as like a handler or something, then that would work. We're not sure about that, so we were looking into it. Maybe if there's like kind of signals that will show if they're gonna get like a seizure, like maybe like 30 minutes before. So like they can go and pull over their car and be like, okay, a seizure's coming on, I need to go to my car, so I'll be safe, right? So like it's one of those it's where we want to do that, but right now we haven't, but we can. We're trying to get there.
But is the main use case sleeping, or are you expecting the patient to walk around and use all day?
Mainly sleeping right now.
Okay, and is sleeping like at the most critical time for epilepsy? Okay.
And I mean, like everyday normal for.
So I looked up this article, 2013 statistics. So it showed that 70% of the epilepsy cases in the United States happen mostly during sleeping.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that was what we based our research and our project on.
One last question. So your average moderate may not wear Pebble to bed. So what are some other mechanisms to alert them?
Like I said,
That's how we use
cell
the
phone.
So the one thing we were gonna do is we were gonna integrate it with an Android SDK, right? So use it on your Android phone or iPhone, right? But their SDK for Muse is not working, so they don't have it set up, so you can't get it. So the only way we can do this and get your phone involved is we use Twilio to send out the message. So that's how we use that to use the phone as well, just in case.
You're gonna have to pass on this. So next up, can we have Toast Me On? Are you guys in the house? Is that you moving or is that you being nuts? Oh, okay. Awesome. And while you guys are setting up, can we please have Lolo, if you guys are, I believe you're here. Do you want to come and announce your winner? Awesome.
Hi everyone, so we're from Loblaws E-commerce. My name is Carolina, this is Hannah and Sydney to my left, my colleagues. So we're here to give the award for our category for e-commerce. So we saw a lot of good projects, great ideas. Everybody should be very proud, but like everybody else, we had to pick a winner. So the prize is a $500 gift certificate for Loblaws, and we've awarded it to the team, or I guess the project Tell Me. So are they here? Oh, there you guys are, great. So we have your contact information, so we'll be getting in touch with you shortly to arrange giving you the gift certificate. And if you guys are in town, I believe we'll be trying to arrange for you guys to come into our office and meet everybody. So congratulations, and congratulations to everybody else, great job.
Hi. Hi everyone, Ray toast me on. So, you text your mom, you text your dad. Why not text your toaster? So, okay, anyways, our company is primarily a social venture, and we're targeting people with Alzheimer's disease. They tend to be more forgetful by nature. So while they're home, working like the oven, the toaster, and other appliances, they tend to leave them on after they're done with it. So what we've done is we've connected these appliances, like a toaster and oven, to a text messaging, like through text message. So Hayden's gonna explain to you how it works.
Okay, so we're gonna try it, but there might be a chance it might not work because there's no signal here, and we use the Twilio API. So like we can't send out text, but there's like one bar, so hopefully it'll work. We have a video in case it doesn't work. So first I'll be introducing like all the functions. So first, if you want to turn on your toaster, you can just text on 5, and it should turn on for 5 minutes. So right now I just set the text, and hopefully it'll turn on. Okay, it turns on. Okay, so besides turning on, we have a status. We text status, and it tells you whether it's on or off. So this is really useful for, let's say, there's an example where, let's say you're out of town and your grandparents are at home just for a day, and you know that they use the oven to preheat food or cook food. And let's say you're out of town, it's 2 a.m., and you just want to make sure that they're safe and they turned off the oven correctly. So you can just text the Twilio number or your toaster number status. So right now, you can't see it, but it says I type status, and it should tell me whether or not it's active. So it just says active. Okay, so it's 2 a.m. It's your toaster is out. Your toaster is on, and you're out of town. What do? You want to turn it off, right? So you text kill to turn it off, and it should turn off. So I just texted kill.
This is something else.
To turn off? Yes, okay, so the light is on, so it's turned off. So there's also other functions you can do. It's pretty much applicable to anyone. So it's also people who go to work, they have a really long day, they want you want your food to be ready by the time you come home, right? So you can schedule when to turn on, so you can text on for 15 minutes at 5:23 p.m. And by the time you come home, your food will be ready, you won't have to wait, and you can watch TV while you have your preheated food. So we have a video just to demonstrate it properly. So that's the status, and then it tells you whether it's active or not. So for those of you who couldn't see, and then once it kills, it already shut off because this response is really fast. Yeah, so it's just not, right now this is just the beginning. It's not just the toaster. We connected it to an extension cord. So basically you can use it for any common household appliance. So let's say you want to save money. So you connect it to your washing machine and you tell it to turn on at off-peak hours so you can save your energy bills. So you also use it for like rice cookers, lights, or anything you can plug in. So it's really useful.
So if I understood correctly, just turns off and turns on based on it just cut the electricity off. That's all it's doing. You cannot really set things.
Originally, we're gonna expand that, but unfortunately we didn't have time. In terms of the toaster specifically, we're gonna attach a servo motor onto the temperature setting, just to control like how high you want your toaster oven to be, and like that sort of stuff. For right now, it's just what you see.
I might have missed it, but does the smart toaster tell me if it's on if I've left the house, or do I need to more actively ask if it's on?
Can you repeat that?
Like if I'm leaving the house, you said like an Alzheimer's patient, right?
Yes.
Or just me in general, because I always feel like my oven's on. If I leave the house, and the toaster's on, will it text me to tell me it's on? Or do I need to say, oh, I wonder if the toaster's on, and then I have to send my text message in saying status?
You would have to send like the text message, but the good thing about this is if you wanted to turn it on, you could just say, let's say you want to toast a bagel in the morning, right, for like 5 minutes. So if you text on for 5 minutes, you won't have to worry about that because after 5 minutes, the toaster will automatically shut off. So there's like no worries at all. So yeah.
Okay. And I think you kind of alluded to it, but if you were to consumerize your solution, was the electrical cord, like the power cord, kind of the way you were going to go? How would you roll this out? Would you tackle appliance by appliance? Any thoughts there?
So right now, the toaster oven is basically connected to this extension cord. So if you want to like consumerize this, we would basically put all this into like a PCB, have the extension cord running out, and all they would have to do is just plug their appliance in, and that's it.
Any appliance?
Any household appliance, yes.
Okay. And what were the components that you used?
So So the way this works is we use Twilio SMS. So Twilio API. So once we text, we'll get the text message from our web server, and the web server will parse the text based on what you said. And after that, it'll call the Spark Cloud, which is connected to our Spark Core microcontroller. And based on that, I'll send like a 3.3 voltage high to a relay board. And the relay board we made from scratch. And basically what it does is it takes the 3.3 volts and it turns on the 120 volt signal from the wall of it. So it can turn on.
So I don't really have a question, but it's more of a comment in terms of like how you presented your idea. When I first heard toaster, I just kind of fixated on the toaster, but then you said, oh, it's actually the plug. I think it would have been much better if you would have presented it as the smart plug, because then it would have helped define like what we were actually looking at, and that it's much bigger than just a toaster. So I think you can just kind of pitch out a little bit differently, but I think your idea is great.
Ask her.
My laptop decided to freeze a little bit, so let's see if it's going to turn on. Okay. Next up, can we get a speedrun in the house? Speedrun, awesome. Do you guys want to come and set up? And in the meantime, can we get Mashay? Frederick, do you want to come up and announce who your winner is? No? No winners? That's a shame.
Hello, everybody. How's it doing? Great? Sleeping? Bored? Tired? Hungry?
Yeah.
Frustrated because you didn't win yet? Hey, so as the Twilio guy said, I really like my job. I like to go to Hackathon, but I hate the part when I need to find the winner because like we got a lot of great submission. So everybody did a great job. And I have some notable application I wanted to mention. Node-Nose, Data VR, Scarlet, BioOat, and Rendezvous. Those were really great applications. Not that the other ones were not great, but they really surprised me on how they use some of the APIs on the Shade. But I had to choose one winner for $400. So I selected, drum roll, amazing, Data VR. Whoa! Thanks to me, guys. So, you can explain what you did, but it's amazing. They use an Oculus Rift, and bear with me, one of the API they use on the Shade is the pore filter. And this is pretty good because it takes images from 4chan, and what it is kind of a museum with those images. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so unlike most of you, what we did is we actually found ways to get rid of porn. So what we did is we're using 4chan, right? So here's the deal. So we're using 4chan, we're just aggregating a bunch of images from there, so we just have like a massive database of images, and we just basically parse the initial comment to like the OP's comment to like see all the terms in there, and if it matched like wallpaper, then we would just save all the images, right? But we would save all the images anyway, and like if we would find images that we knew were like porn, then we would just like hash all those images, and we would keep a big record of that, and we would prevent any of those images from being brought in if something just by accident put it in like one of those wallpaper prints. And then what we would do is we created like a virtual gallery, so you could see all of like the images that we actually had saved, like in a sense that, like imagine you looked at like a web page, right? You're always just looking at web pages, right? Like that's such a crappy experience. Like why not just look at it in like virtual reality? Why can't you just have like a virtual world that you can see all that same content in, right? B obviously it's from B, so we had to figure out a way to filter that content out, right? You guys want to add anything?
Yeah. So why did I choose that? First, it was great to work with some hardware and some software. I really think that they did a great use. And at the same time, because the team was about social stuff, I think that is great because not everybody had the chance to go to museum or see the thing. I see some values about it. Like that could be a great virtual experience for people that don't have that chance. So now it was for China Images, but there is a lot more ways of using what you did, guys. So great job, great job. I know.
Where we flip it. I think that's also
Hey guys, so by a raise of hands, who likes running here? You guys are weird. We were expecting less hands up. Because I hate running, and we all hate running here, so that's why we made speed run. So basically, why we hate running? So I run a week, 2 weeks, 1 month, and then I look myself in the mirror, I'm like, bro, where are the gains? Where are the gains, right? And I just don't see them. So that's the problem with like modern fitness. Like the world has evolved so quickly that we are always expecting these kind of like, rewards after each week or rewards after each day. So instead of saying to my friends like, okay, hey guys, after 2 weeks I finally gained 5 pounds, I can tell them, hey guys, after last week I got the Usain Bolt achievement, I got this achievement, I got that achievement, and pretty much like what we're trying to do, we're trying to bring the reward system from video games that attracts so much user base, and we're bringing it to fitness so that people can. And the social benefit behind this is that all type of diseases are on the rise, and so we're trying to deal with this by by making fitness much more interesting so that people can actually work out and have fun while doing it. So Speedrun basically is an Android app that uses smartwatches as companions. So it includes the Pebble and the Android watch wear. And what we've done is that we use the app to generate valid location addresses around your GPS address. And basically the mission is to run through them all. And once you've run through all of them, they're either labeled as cards or clocked on the map interface. You complete the round and you get a score point, and you get a score points based on how much time is remaining in that round. And then you can move on to the next round, and there's also a leaderboard, and you can also get some achievements. So the score points and the achievement points work towards your rank, and you can compare your rank with your friends to just show off how much bigger your cows are compared to theirs. So basically for the demo, well, since we cannot display it on the screen, we're going to show it to the judges. And okay.
Document viewer.
Yeah, so the integrated for the smartwatches. Well, for the smartwatches, we have an arrow and a distance pointing towards the next closest destination. Okay, so well, we
move it up a bit.
So basically with the smartwatches, what we did is we have a very simple interface. It just has an arrow pointing towards the next closest destination and also the distance towards the next closest destination. No, that's good. So the whole point of the smartwatches is that so you can run around without having to pull out your phone out of your pockets during the workout. Okay. All right, so in the game, let's start. You can move around and get close enough to the hearts, count, and get results.
and just skip around and have to get all the votes in the time limit. Scan the watch, or the watch is also supposed to tell you like where's the nearest orb to get. So once you get it, this one, it automatically updates and it tells you the next one, which one to get. So kind of that these smartwatches are very useful tool. So now one can help you where's the next orb. So it's still saving a lot of time. It's safer too.
And also at the end of each round, you also get a display of statistics like your average speed and the distance traveled during that round.
I'm gonna ask him to show it up again since he wants to redeem it.
So basically our app generates a running track for you and pretty much allows you to run into streets that you never even knew existed before. Okay, so as you can see on the map interface, all the locations that were generated around your GPS address are either hearts or clocks. The clocks give you bonus time to complete the round, but the hearts are the mandatory targets for you to go to in order to complete the round. And here we're using a simulator. To kind of simulate the movement around the UFT. And as you can see, the pointer points toward the next closest destination with the time remaining on top and also the distance in meters on bottom. Okay, and we also have an achievement board and a leaderboard in order to make the game more competitive and interactive so that players can really feel like they're in a game, although this is all happening in real life.
One question. How do you generate the route? And do you take into account like there's crime or traffic that makes people jogging an issue?
Okay, so
one more before I forget. It's the watch vibrates if it goes left one time and twice if it goes right, or if no?
No, the vibrations is only there to alert you that the directions have changed, and the only case that would happen is if you already arrived at one destination, it would point you towards the next one and vibrate. And as for the location, what we used was reverse geocoding. So we take coordinates and we take random coordinates, and then we make sure that they're addresses, and then we transform them back into coordinates in order to send them information. To make sure, so pretty much anything that can appear on Google Maps is a valid location for us to choose. But of course, taking into consideration crimes and like news-related sources, we would have to use an algorithm to implement, and it could be considered in future implementations of this game.
That's a good idea. I love this proof of concept. Where would you take it next? What other features could you build into this to make it even more robust, especially on the smartwatch side?
Okay, on the smartwatch side, okay, so currently we're trying to work around with the compass of the smartwatch, because now what we're doing is actually assuming that the person looking at the watch is the pointer assumes that north is always in front of you. So, for instance, if the pointer was to point to my left and I was facing this way, that being north, it would be correct. However, if my arm was extended this way, so I was this way, then the pointer would still be pointing in an awkward direction, but I would be able to kind of compute that it's not the direction I'm supposed to go through by the distance.
And what features could you build into this running game that would allow me to not have to bring my phone out in the entirety of the game time that I'm playing? Because right now it seems like very much a 50-50. Any thoughts on that?
We would also like to show statistics on the watch in the future. So we really even if we're from out every time, and maybe connect the game to services like Google Play Fit. So all the everything you do could get tracked.
It's actually because the easiest way to initiate the app is to launch from the phone and not from the watch, but we can definitely look at how to reverse that order.
Thanks. Bless you. Yeah, whoever's got that looks awesome. Okay. Catch up. Okay. Can we please get Team Coco up next? Are they here? Yeah? Woo! And while they're setting up, can we get IBM Analytics to come and announce their winners? And in case you don't remember, this is the really nice big cash prize.
Are you still doing the,
Yes, sorry, so just to clarify, the overall final prizes are hardware and software, so there's going to be two, let me say that again. There's going to be a first and second place overall best hardware and a first and second place overall best software. I need one of my people to confirm, but I'm pretty sure we are now going into software. Yes. So we've seen. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, you want to come in and announce your prize?
Hi guys, I have to tell you, I'm very impressed with the projects you've done, but even more impressed with the fact that you're still awake. I slept in my own bed, and I'm not awake. So we're here, it's not just me here, it's my teams here from IBM Analytics, and we are local to Toronto. And we also, besides having day jobs, we also run something called Big Data University. So I encourage all of you, if you're wanting to learn about big data, that's kind of what we do, it's near and dear to our hearts, that you take a look if there's something of interest to you there, and there should be. We also have, in the summer, we run internships. We actually had 42 students that Raul in here managed through the summer. My hats off to him. But today we're not here to talk about that. We're here to announce an award, our $2,000 Canadian prize. Yes, I know, it's an instant 20% discount. But $2,000 is not bad. And just to make sure that it was really meaningful, we decided to give it to one guy. So actually, that's not why we decided to do it. We were just really, really impressed with his project. We're really impressed with how he used the capabilities we provide for analytics on Bluemix. He used a database we call Cloudant, and he discovered lots of features in here within the last 36 hours that some of my people on my team didn't know yet. And he used Watson Analytics as well. So without further ado, I actually don't know his name, but I'd like to find out, because we need to cut the check. Is Newsmatch. So the check is in the mail.
Thank you, Steve.
Hello. So I'm Winston, this is Arjun, Dustin, and Jasmine, and together we're Team Coco. Thank you. So this hackathon, the theme was social benefit. We decided to focus our problem set on elderly people. And through research, we found that one, they're slow to adopt new technologies. Many of them may not have like the latest smartphones or even a cell phone at all. And second, they have a lot of medication to take, and this is a lot to remember for them. So we decided to create this web portal that allows their caregivers or loved ones to log in and register the family member, and then put in the medications they need to take and schedule appointments for what reminders for when they should take this medicine. So when the time comes, they'll send either a phone call to them or a text message. And the reason we decided to go with phone calls mainly because it can also target landlines, as these people may not have cell phones. So we'd like to do a quick demo for you. Are any of the judges comfortable with signing up? Do you have reception here?
No.
I have two.
You have two? 416. 278. 1067. All right. No one prank call this, please. So just submit the form, and you should receive a text message soon saying that you've been signed up. Might take a little while just because of the reception.
Welcome to Med Member.
Yep. So in the spirit of hackathon, let's just say, you need some Red Bull, right? Yeah. 2 cans a day, because that's the most you could take. So we just added Red Bull under your medication. And, so we'll just set a message for you, say 1 a.m. is appropriate time, you get tired hacking. So we'll just select Red Bull, and we'll just do February 1st at 1 a.m. The time has already passed, but it'll send you a notification anyway. And if you want, we could do repeat, but then, yeah. So we'll just do a phone call for now. So within the next minute or so, you'll get a phone call, and then you can also press 1. And it'll hook you up to the caregiver, me, which in this case is me, in case you have trouble finding your Red Bull. Might be a bit slow.
Yeah, that's okay. We got the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so. Oh, yeah. So you can see that it's Red Bull in 2 cans. If she answered the call, it would have read out loud the message that we sent her, and then at the end we'll tell her she could press 1 to be hooked up with her. The reason, okay. So you could try pressing 1 at the end. Try pressing 1 and then it'll hook you up over to my line. Yeah, the reason so you can see that I'm on silent right now, but I'm getting a phone call. And then if I pick it up, hello? Okay, so she's on the other end. The motivation for this was that sometimes people might have trouble finding their, I'm not really sorry. The reason for this is that sometimes people might have trouble finding medications or they might be confused, so that they hook them over the caregiver so they can get like instant feedback. The caregiver will know that there's something wrong with the person. And if we just refresh it, I'll clear it out just because it's already passed. And that's pretty much it, right?
Great, thanks guys. I have a couple questions, but the first, can you just walk us through what would happen if that was a text message instead of a call? Could she also respond via text or?
Right now, she just received the text, but then there's nothing really on that. She'll just receive a notification via text. There's also an option to do both, so phone and text.
Okay. And so one of the challenges is loading up this portal because sometimes your mom or dad can have a lot of medicine or that can change. Any thoughts on possible partnerships or integrations with like shoppers or something like that? Is that possible to make it even easier?
Right. So, like over time, you're gonna gather a lot of data on like the patient or the elderly person in terms of what they're taking, the frequency they're taking it. So gathering that data and like some scientific facts, and we can develop a model where we understand what kind of illness they have, and we can partner up with pharmaceutical companies and basically advertise better medications they could take at possibly a discounted price. So there would be like an incentive for them to purchase this. It's better for them and it might be a little bit cheaper. And it's like a win-win in both situations. So if you scale this up to like maybe like retirement homes and like many people using it, you'll be getting a lot of data and these pharmaceutical companies can actually advertise their products here. So there's a business potential in this.
So I have some questions about your next steps, kind of related to keeping track of the medication. Because right now you send a text message and you may or may not know, or actually I guess it's a phone call that they've received to take their medication. Is there a way that you are tracking that they have taken the medication in case maybe that they don't pick up the phone or they ignore the message?
It's really hard to enforce to see if they actually take the medication or not, because there's always a way around it, no matter what you would try. But verbal confirmation would be the best, but there's no way for us to keep track of that if it's a phone call conversation. So if you assume the other person is trustworthy, the patient, then they could text back. We could add a feature where they text back to us saying they took the medication, and maybe describe something about the medication they took, like if there's like a prescription number or something on there, they would text that back. So we can enable that kind of feature.
So due to the constraints of the hackathon, one of the things we would like to do in the future is maybe if they didn't pick up the phone call or maybe the text message they receive a confirmation text, we could possibly contact the caregiver and notify them that this person missed the reminder.
I believe there are other solutions out there that remind elderly people about when to take medicine. So can you mention what are the key differentiators of your solution?
I guess one of the main things is because we don't really rely on the use of the internet as much with our solution, just because they may not use the full features of their smartphones or go on the internet as much. So then they might be more comfortable with the more traditional phone calls. That's what they were used to growing up with. So that's one of the reasons why we think that this approach might be a little more versatile and more familiar with them.
And it would also work with a landline like home phone, so it doesn't have to be like a software device.
And how would you roll this out if you were going to take the next step? Like what would the business model be for this one?
I guess you want to get traction, so you want to partner up with anybody that would like to use this for free. So we get some people to use it for free, get feedback, and possibly improve it, and then from there try to spread out word of mouth, and we'll hopefully have a better product where we're going to charge a premium for a large user base, such as like retirement homes. And from that, we'll gather the data and be able to proceed to like the next step in business.
Just to add to that, one interesting use case might be to demo into hospitals as well, because doctors have a lot of patients as well.
So doctors could possibly manage their patients through this, and it doesn't have to necessarily be the elderly, it can also be people who may have like terminal illness or something which requires a lot of medication. So there's a lot of other use cases we can explore with this.
And I just like to throw in, you could also probably do like data analytics and like tracking data of all the different patients and see how well they're doing.
Okay, and sorry, one quick question. In your competitive review, did anybody else do phone calls? Any other app for medicine do phone calls?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Not that we've come across.
Okay, thank you.
So my laptop is really misbehaving right now. I believe we have one more, if not two more presentations. Are you guys here? Because I would have called your name. You're here? Okay, what is your name? Like, what's your name?
No notes.
No notes? Okay, awesome. Do you guys want to come down and present? And Intel and Mastery can come and announce while you guys set up. Here you go.
Okay, thank you, U of T, for such an awesome event. This was my first hackathon, and I absolutely loved it. I thought you guys were super smart, and I'd like to go back a million years and start over where you guys are at, because it's like what an amazing time to be involved with technology. So, wow, you guys were amazing. Unfortunately, the Emmett and I had to leave because of a snowstorm that was coming in, so their flight got canceled, but they were part of the process in judging, so I'm representing their influence on this as well. And again, like everybody else has said, oh my God, you guys, like, trying to decide which one should get it was a tough one. So from hardware for the Edison, Homey loved the integration. Are the guys from Homey still here? Yeah. Yes, awesome, come on down. And I'm also doing the Mastery choice as well, so again, tough to decide, but new Smash.
So how many of you learn from videos? So I don't usually study, but when I do, I take my notes on videos. And the traditional way of note taking was to have a monitor on one end and to have a piece of paper on the other end and be diverting your attention between a monitor and a piece of paper. There's that, and for more hardcore users, you might split the screen. So you might have Google Docs on one side and you might have video on the other side. That's not ideal because you're splitting your attention. So we built Notes, which is a video platform that lets you take notes all unified on one browser page. So let's get started. So we can get started by searching for a video. So let's just search for TED. And there's some interesting TED videos. So let's go with any one of these TED Talks or TED 2 for science. And so we can start focusing our attention fully on the video. And whenever we're ready and we find something interesting, we can go ahead and type a note. So let's go for another note. Okay, so at any later time, we can always refer back to our notes by clicking on the timestamp, and that's because we recorded when we've taken that note. So it's a very easy to reference point. And what's really neat about this is that you can collaborate with other peers. So if we switch over and we start looking for another video. So let's start learning about Rails. And let's take a note whenever you're ready. Okay, so now we can scroll up and we can share that link with anyone. So just click on generate link. And now someone else can go ahead and they can collaborate on that same session and see where exactly you reference your notes. And that's a quick demo. So for the front end, we use a lot of frameworks. We use Galaxy, we use Page.js, we use Velocity.js, we use Video.js, we use a YouTube plugin for Video.js, we use jQuery, and a bunch of others, which I don't remember off the top of my head. And the Matching API, which was awesome.
Right, and for the backend, we're using Django and Python, and we deploy it onto your food because we are more familiar with it and it's easy to use. And we're saving like all the user data in Postgres database. Yeah, that's basically it. So to add on, like there's one usage for this collaboration. So say like you're watching a video about a lecture and you have some questions. So while you're watching it, you can quickly jot down the questions and you can generate a link where you can send to someone else who might be able to answer your questions. So like when that guy is watching that video, he can immediately see like what your questions are and like go to that point in time in that video and then answer your question. And in the next time when you're watching the video again, you'll have all the answers you need. So that's like a useful way for people to learn from watching videos.
So now opening any questions?
I got a clarification. When you're collaborating, is that real-time collaboration that you're doing, or are you just sharing sort of like your log?
So like the database will be updated whenever you insert a new line. So say if someone else is typing right now, if I refresh my page, from the point of time when he opened up the link say he started like typing 3 lines. When I refresh, I'll see the 3 lines that are updated by me. So you need to refresh.
Okay, and another question is, what happens when you like stop and pause and stuff like that?
When you pause,
So when you pause, it's still gonna save that timestamp when you start typing the first character on that line.
Like the timestamp will stay there, like the time when the video stops.
Okay.
So when I rewind, there'll be another line pointing to, let's say, 015, and so you have another question there. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And the other thing is, how easy do you think this could be integrated to a MOOC platform?
A movie?
A MOOC, courses, massive online courses.
Right.
Like
So
platforms.
something like Coursera or Khan Academy. So right now, off the bat, like obviously it's integrated with Khan Academy because they use YouTube, which is what we use. So we actually rewrote the entire code base last night. So originally we were using a YouTube API, and we found that too restricting because we needed full control over it because we wanted to integrate the text area with the video and synchronize it. So we rewrote everything, and so right now we're using an open source video framework called Video.js, and so we have full control over it. So right now you can insert like a direct link to a video, but it doesn't scrape that video off the page. Although eventually we will scrape that video.
Last question is, have you thought of any other ways to visualize this data?
Yeah. So one feature that we're actually in the progress of implementing, but we didn't get it finished, was taking a screenshot directly from your browser. And so you can actually do that legitimately, but we did a lot of hacks, and one of the ways that we thought we could do it was we would duplicate this video, and because we're using open source video library, we have full control over it. We just disable all the controls, so it looks like a legitimate screenshot because you can't like interact with it, and we'll have a CSS overlay over it, so then you can start annotating your notes. And from there, we can use Canvas 2D to start turning that into an actual screenshot. So it's not just like video, but you can actually turn it into a legitimate screenshot and share that over Twitter, let's say, or some other social platform.
Nice. Thank you.
Next up, can I get Comic Labs to come up and announce while you guys, sorry, who are you guys again? Like, two minutes? Okay, awesome. Sorry, my laptop is quite literally dead right now.
Hey, when we talked really quick about it, I didn't actually show them the other one, so can I do that quick at some point?
This is for Finalist only, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Hey everyone, congrats on finishing U of T hacks. Good work. Yeah, totally blown away by all the projects I saw. I tried to touch on some of them that didn't use the mile, but overall it was amazing. I did select 3 honorable mentions and 1 overall winner. The 3 honorable mentions were MyoFit, Sine Wave, and A Breath of Fresh Air. Congratulations. And the overall winner is Myoconductor. You guys did an amazing job. Come on down, come on down. These guys built a code extension that allowed you to control and conduct your HTML5 videos using hand gestures. Literally, the speed and the pace and the length of your movements controlled the tempo and the volume of the video. It was amazing. Good work, guys.
Actually, I did learn.
Am I going the right place, guys? There.
Alright, hello everyone. We are Tweet My Tesla. Before we begin, I would like to thank Mike. He's a Tesla owner slash Uber driver, and this project was made possible with his partnership and him allowing us to work with him. So I just want us and our team just want to take a second to thank him for letting us work with him. Tweet My Tesla comes with the inspiration of providing memorable experience to the passenger that use Tesla / Uber service. My partner here is going to explain how exactly it works.
Okay, so basically for Tweet My Tesla, we sign in either with a Twitter and we send Mike, at Mike _ Tesla a tweet. Or we take a picture and send that as a tweet to the same area. And once we do that, on our mobile devices, our web app runs on it. And basically, it takes us to this setting. So right now, here is just one example of what you can do on the car. So you can change the temperature on the car, and our future idea is to change also media, and also for example, sunroof or side windows. So for example, you feel too cold and you don't want to bug the driver, right? And there's lots of traffic downtown. So what you're gonna do is that you send a tweet and basically it shows up on your web app on your mobile device, and you just simply click this and it changes. But it doesn't, since this is just the demo, it doesn't change here yet. After that, let's say that you are happy with what you have done. So basically, you go to your signature, sign over here, your name, and you leave a message, positive or negative. It doesn't matter, it's all up to you. And then you go to our guest book. So it will show what you have sent to us with your signature, and this is what it looks like. So basically, this will show, for future ideas, it will go by popularity, positive, and negative. So we will have that over here on the side here for 3 different tabs. And how we would do that is using Uber, because Uber can, you're going to communicate with Uber, because what happens is that as a passenger, you can rate your driver and the driver can rate you. So we can use that as a positive and negative, or we can just use popular tags from Twitter, which will be here on the Twitter feed, which is nothing there yet because we have to set up the API. And that is practically it right now. So it's to help the driver, safety concerns wise, so the driver can manage to focus on the road, and as well as you can do stuff with the car, which is basically amazing. Because you're basically hacking into a computer, which is already programmed, and all you're doing is just touching on your phone.
Let's walk through this. So first off, whose Tesla is it?
It was Mike Tesla's. So he runs with Uber already. So he's currently not here right now, but we were able to use the Tesla and see how things work, and it did work. So sadly, we can't show it to you guys. I'm so sorry.
But is the app, I guess what I should rephrase my question, is the app meant for me as the Tesla owner or me as somebody who's riding in a Tesla?
Mostly for the passenger, but it could also alternate for the owner as well. Because all you have to do is just, we will try to set it up for universally so that everyone can use it, not just Mike.
Right.
So basically, you would just set up your Twitter account with our app, and that can work that way.
Okay.
I'm also slightly confused as to like, how does someone get to this? Like, does the passenger come in and?
It's going to. Have you seen what the Tesla screen is like?
No, I have not.
Okay, I will quickly show you from Google.
So that's meant to be on the dashboard?
Yes, it is on the dashboard.
I just wanted to say, like, while he's doing this, one of the things that UT has to offer this year is a Tesla for students to pitch on. Some teams had a chance to pitch on it, and Mike, who owns the Tesla and loaned it to us, got selected for a couple of teams to go and have, which is very impressive.
Okay, so it's a passenger who's sitting in the passenger seats.
So it can be either at the back or at the front because you just be connected to that from your mobile device. If you're at the front, you could just touch the screen and do it yourself. But since, as you can see on this, you could have two applications running, just like on the S4, you know how you have double screen or any other mobile devices. It is great to use it. So he can be navigating, and at the same time, you could be changing things from the application. So since it's also a touchscreen, it'd be easy to sign your name instead of on your device. You can just sign it there.
So how does your application make the experience better?
It makes it
than
better.
if I was just to press key up and down, because I'm right there.
Well,
What if you're in the back?
yeah.
Okay.
What if you're in the back?
If
Or
you're
what
in
if
the
you're
back.
like, what if you're like me, you're really shy, you don't wanna like, talk to the driver like.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
And just another question is, when I tweet out, am I literally tweeting out to the world, or is it like a direct
You're
message?
tweeting to his Twitter's dash.
Okay, but other people can see that too. Like,
Yes, other people can see that,
Okay.
and that's why we have our Twitter feed here, and it will also show up here. But we don't have that set up yet. So since we can see that, we can see how popular the app is and like what to fix and etc. Also using from our guest book, seeing negative things. Negative things doesn't just have to do from the card; it can also be from the app. So it is a great way to improve the application and the device as well.
Last question.
I'm still kind of confused as to how someone gets this app, because is it an app that they download on their
When they tweet it, when it tweets, since it's connected to Tesla, like I said on the
Okay, so
on
I
the
tweet
screen.
at my Tesla.
Mm-hmm. At Mike_Tesla, it will our web application will generate an app for your phone. So there will be only one user at a time, so there is no other interfaces going on. So there's no interference.
Okay, that clarifies a bit of it. Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Awesome. Next up, can we have easy peasy for our final demonstration, I believe? Yes? You guys said you were here, right? Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Deep, this is Max, and this is Ian.
we are easy peasy.
All right, so I'm going to start off with a question. How many of you guys went for Tim Hortons? Yeah, that's a fair number. Like, what we saw last week was that when we were in our robotics meetings, our robotics team has been for around 40 to 50 people. And when I go up to Tim Hortons, I usually go and then bring something for someone else along the way. So I'm on my way to Tim Hortons.
Oh, sorry.
Just hold it. All right. So here we have it's the homepage of our app. Up is basically my name is Ian, and I am going to Tim Hortons. So this is a pretty standard thing. I'm going to go to Tim Hortons, and all I have to do is I'm going to press the button to tell my friends. So once it says tell my friends, I can look at Max, Adit, and Stana. They're pretty nice guys. I'm a pretty nice guy. I'm going to invite them to get something from Tim Hortons while I'm there. All right, and now it says waiting for orders. Now Max is going to go on his phone using the exact same app and then go into the order menu. So Max from his phone saw a notification that I was at Tim Hortons. So he's going to order a coffee, maybe to get him through the night, to get him through the hackathon, and then send it over to my phone. All right, and then on my phone, when I refresh, I see Max's coffee pop up at the top of my page. At the same time, I can get Adit's order, I can get other people's order, I can also add in my own order. So if I want Timbits, I can add that in as well. So now I have everyone's order. It's really neat because the normal way to handle this would be to write down everyone's order and write their name next to it, write down their price, and then head off to Tim Hortons. So I head off to Tim Hortons, and I have all these orders. So I start reading off of this, and then I finish my order, I pay for everything, and then I'm back here for the hackathon. So the last thing I have to do is I'm kind of walking around with maybe 10 cups of coffee. I'm not really sure what to do. But I know that Max got a cup of coffee. So I can go into my balances, and I can see who owed me what. So I can keep track of who paid what, and then I can find them so that they can pay me back. And the best part is that within the app, if you have a credit card, you can actually charge your friends from within the app using the camera. So what I can do is basically, it goes through Stripe, which is a payment processor, and then it eliminates the need for any fumbling with chain, because you don't want to be accepting loonies from 10 different people. Instead, you want to make this process really efficient.
This isn't limited for just Tim Hortons. This is for really any store at all, because this is just a system. We're not actually ordering through Tim Hortons. It's just a system which we can pay the person who's getting our food.
Now, we realized that when the user was actually using our app, he was giving input, he was giving us valuable data. So then we decided to collect this data and put it on IBM Bluemix. We used Cloudin, and then with that we used IBM Dash. And we can now see who has ordered what, and from the beginning, like from the start till now. This gets updated in real time, and then it provides a huge marketing opportunity for our app. You can give this data to the actual store, so in this case it would be Tim Hortons, or you can give it to others, or the consumer himself, and he'll realize that if he's taking in like good food or like junk food and whatnot.
I think it's awesome. Just a question on the social benefit. Could you clarify that for us?
Yes, so the whole problem that this is solving is a social problem. I mean, we were in robotics, and this is where we came up with the idea. And I would take down their orders and like, okay, I needed to that. But when I went there to the store, I'd be stressed out instead of like, I would be stressed out if I got their cream cheese right, or like if they got the right size.
So having an app would eliminate that for me. We can all like they know that I'll get it right, so they just send it over into my app through the connection, and then we can go and it'll work.
I think your workflow is great, and the only kind of pain point might be where does this information of the prices and the menu items, where do they come from? And I can see that Tim Hortons, like you can get that one, like what happens if you go to a really small restaurant that only has paper menu, like how are you gonna get all this information?
So the idea behind it was over the hackathon, we did have a hard-coded menu in it, just that we had a couple of menu items that we could work with. But in the future, in terms of expansion, the goal is that given all this information that we have based on the customer's orders, who's ordering them, what they're ordering, we're hoping to partner with some of these small restaurants so that we have the exchange of our data, and in exchange they can support our app and supply this information to us.
We would also crowdsource. So like the first couple of people who put in their app, we could reuse this data because it's also stored into our database online. We could use this and we could, yeah.
Great job, guys. So judges, would you like to go across the hall and deliberate and have a wonderful discussion that I am not jealous to be a part of, because it's a very tough decision, it seems. So while the judges go and deliberate into a room that is outside our doors and will not be disturbed by any of us, this is a really important time for me to come and say thank you, or for our exec team to say thank you. You guys have been a phenomenal group of people to hack with, and we're super happy that this hackathon happened, and we're super glad that we put it together. But it wouldn't have been possible without our amazing, amazing sponsors. And there are way too many for me to say all of them right now, but a huge shout out to Intel for being our title sponsor. You guys are amazing. As another group of people we absolutely love and thank is our mentors and our judges. A couple of people actually came up to me and said that, I was talking to this mentor at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., getting help from them. The mentors are dedicated enough to come and stay up late at night. I'm pretty sure last night, or I'm guessing it was like 4 or 5 a.m. this morning, I'm not really sure about that anymore. One of the mentors actually started a trivia channel on our Slack and started posting trivia questions. And it's amazing to see mentors engage with our students at such great levels. And judges, the questions that they've been asking have been phenomenal, and they really show a true understanding of what you guys have built. Another huge group of people to thank are our volunteers. If any of you are in here, and I can see some green shirts, can you stand up so we can clap? So what you guys might not realize is our volunteers aren't just guys who live in Toronto. Some of them lived all the way in Scarborough and got here for early morning shifts when the train doesn't even run that early. So we truly appreciate you guys, whether or not you're in this room, we truly appreciate you guys. Like, you guys were amazing, and you did whatever we asked without complaining. Like, you cleaned up that horrible, messy table, God knows how many times, and I love you so much for it. And yeah, you guys, I will hug you all one day if I see you again, when I see you again, because you guys are rock stars. Another group is our exec team, and if you see any purple shirts, and I can see at least 3 other guys in here, can you please give them a round of applause? They were And finally, I want you all to look around at yourselves. You guys, we are so grateful for you. I mean, it's one thing to throw a hackathon, it's one thing to throw a hackathon with hackers who are as passionate and wonderful and amazing as you guys. You stuck by despite all of the little bumps and bruises that we went along, and you're still sitting here, and it makes us absolutely happy. Like, I don't know if you can tell the smile on my face, I've been up for like the whole time, and I'm still smiling because you guys are absolutely awesome and such amazing rock stars. Thank you. Thanks, guys. So I'm very scared to plug anything else into the podium because my laptop has literally just bit the dust. So I'm just gonna do these off the fly. It'll be a little faster as well. We did have a Twitter hashtag competition going on, and we had. We did have a Twitter hashtag competition going on, and we do have a winner from that. It was randomly chosen, and the rules, if you read them, which everyone does read those terms and conditions, right? The rules were you had to use hack it, ship it, as well as UFT hacks in your tweet. And this one is from, your name is Harris Chan, and your Twitter name is @Sirachan or Chan. Are you here? If not, can you please come and find me? We have an adorable little stand to give you. Yeah. Can someone tweet her and tell her she won? Yeah. Never mind, can someone tweet him and tell him he won? It's one of these guys. This one. You want this? And he's adorable. Another huge, person here, but representative of a huge, great organization, is Ryan Swift, who's from MLH. You were absolutely amazing. You are still here, despite everything else. And there was a moment we thought we might have needed an extra judge for our final panel, and you stepped in despite not wanting to be a judge. And we would also like to offer you one of our stands because you were great, and I think you have something you wanted to say as well, so why don't you come up?
Alright guys, I'll try and be quick. I know everyone's tired. So I'm just here to echo pretty much everything she said. Let's give a round of applause for the organizers one more time. No, this is all the volunteers are awesome as well. Everyone I saw at the event was, productive and trying to do whatever they could for the hackers. And, that's what we're here for. MLH just wants to thank Dell and Intel for supporting them and supporting hackathons throughout the world. And I'm excited to see who's won, so I'll pass it back over to you guys. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. So, I had a picture of Stan just saying goodbye to all of you, but I'm not plugging anything in. So imagine there's a giant picture of our wonderful little Stan, all plugged in. He apologizes for all the mistakes he made over the weekend. He really does love you guys too, I promise. And for anyone who doesn't know, Stan is our pet moose. He's also fictional. So we're just waiting on our final judges to come back in. Does anyone have any questions about the weekend? No? Sure. 1 second.
I also forgot to mention that the organizers will be handling the return of hardware. I have a flight to catch. They have all of your IDs and everything. If there's any issues, just talk to them. So.
Awesome. So I am going to try and buy some time while the judges keep deliberating. They're in a heated debate, I'm told. Does anyone know what the prizes are? I'm surprised no one's asked us, and this is actually one of the things that we're super happy about. It's taking away from this whole idea of you're hacking for a specific prize, and more hacking for the idea of hacking and working on projects. But we are super, super excited to say, and the prizes are not in this slide. We partnered with Global Hackathon Seoul to send both first team in hardware and software to Korea for the Global Hackathon that's happening in Seoul, which is incredible. In case you don't understand what I just said, that means you get to go to Korea for a free hackathon, all expenses paid, automatically accepted. So give them a round of applause if they're watching this. We also have a cash prize from U of T Hacks. The first place is $1,000 and the second place is $500 in both hardware and software. So you guys, whoever you are, you're gonna walk away with some cash. We also have, and I'm cautiously staring over at my friend to see if he remembers some of the other ones. Yes, we have some awesome hardware like Vitellino boards and Spark cores. And of course, something that Swift might have wanted to mention is we've got some Dell tablets to give away to the first place winners in both hardware and software. So can we give Emily just a tap of tap as well? Okay, so I'm told 1 more minute. That means you get to listen to my beautiful voice for 1 more minute. I'm sorry. You want me to sing a song? I don't even, okay, someone suggest a song to words I actually know, and I will try. I'm too tired to comprehend this. Happy birthday. Wait, is anyone's birthday today? I will sing you happy birthday. I hate singing, but I'll sing you happy birthday. Oh yeah, who's gonna watch the Super Bowl today? I don't know. I feel like if you've got enough energy to still be sitting up right now, you definitely have enough energy to sit through a whole Super Bowl game. Then again, I've never actually watched one, so. Oh, Katy Perry's performing at halftime. If you're awake, you should watch that. Here's another interesting question. I know I've seen a couple of you guys wearing my hat. Who managed to touch or get a hold of my hat? Yeah? That's a lot more than I expected. Aw, this poor little guy got threatened apparently. Any other, who's got a good joke? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so there's this guy who goes to a bar and he orders 10 whiskey shots. And the bartender's like, okay, so he runs out 10 whiskey shots, 10 shot glasses, starts pouring them one by one, gets to the 7th glass, and the guy starts like chugging them down real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And he follows the bartender up to the 10th glass, or sorry, the 10th shot. And right before he drinks the 10th shot, the bartender's like, wait, why are you drinking these so fast?
Oh, sorry, keep going, keep going.
Why are you drinking these so fast? And the guy's like, well, you would be drinking these as fast as I am if you had what I had. The bartender's like, what? What do you have? No money. Drinks the shot.
Awesome, thanks for the joke. It seems like our finalists are back in the room, so they have a decision. Do they all agree? Yeah. Awesome. Brian, would you like to come back down? It's presentation time.
Hey guys, you all did such an amazing job. It was a lot of discussion back and forth between the three of us to figure out who is going to be, we're doing top 2, right, guys? Top 2 in hardware, top 2 in software. I love the focus on social benefit. I love the use of hardware and some innovative ways for software. We all appreciated that as judges. So we're going to start with the hardware track. Again, you're all winners, but our top 2, we're going to do number 2 and then number 1. So number 2 for hardware track was Brainwash.
Congratulations. Come on down. And our winner for the hardware track is Pulse. Let's just do some pictures here quick. If we want to get the two teams together with your medals. You guys, oh sorry. And then whoever is the photographer and the crowd can start snapping and tweeting. Hashtag U of T hacks.
So we've got a slight mismatch on side.
We just look like it's like that line.
Okay, congrats teams. Okay, so on the software side of things, then drum roll, guys. Thank you. You guys have to make sure you're in sync with the Pulse app over there with that tempo. Okay, so on the software side, another slew of great solutions. I'm going to say number 2 and then number 1. The second runner-up or the first runner-up, number 2, whatever, however you do that, is Speedrunner. In software. Speedrun, sorry. Come on down, guys. Okay. And then, do you guys want to announce this one? Okay. So the winner in the software track is Member. Are you guys still here? Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations to the rest of the contenders in the hardware software track. Round of applause for those guys.
Can you guys come back here?
Hey guys, if any of the winning teams still need to get additional medals, just make sure you come talk to me before I leave. So I'm gonna be standing down here for like 3 or 4 minutes. Thanks.